It's Friday, April 20th, and you're listening to the Geek at Geek News Central, show number 758, sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com. Save 25% on a one-year fourth-generation hosting account by using the promo code NAB. Hey, folks, I got a great show lined up for you. Boy, it seems like it's been forever since I've been in the saddle. You know what comes next. Here it comes.
All right, people, I need a go, no-go for the Geek News Central podcast. Digital archive recorders.
We're go fly.
Microphone.
We're go fly.
Video feed.
Go.
Web browser.
Go.
RSS data stream aggregator.
Go fly.
Interflux Toddism suppressor.
All right. I'm confused.
Host readiness check.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
The Geek News Central podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go. Cue Todd in
5,
Button, who's got the button?
4,
There is no cause for alarm.
3,
Everybody hold on to something.
2,
Just press the button.
1.
Aloha and welcome to the Geek News Central podcast coming to us live as it can be from the beautiful state of Hawaii via the Geek News Central studio overlooking Greater Honolulu. Everyone, welcome to the show. Just got to kickstart myself here and get her rocking and rolling. Everyone, welcome. Of course, my name is Todd Cochran, and we want to welcome you to the show. It's been a while. It's absolutely been, I think, 8 days since I put a show out, and that is entirely too long. But been out to Vegas doing NAB. Talk about that here in a few minutes, of course, with some other things that are going on here in the studio. But, of course, I want to give a warm welcome to all of you that are new listeners, new viewers, people who have watched the show for a while. Thanks for being here and being part of the family. Of course, you want to get over to geeknewscentral.com and check things out over there as well. Of course, you can subscribe to the show real easily by going to the second column of the website. You'll find all the subscribe information there on how to get hooked up with the via Zune or via iTunes or via normal RSS feed. Of course, get sent up for newsletter as well while you're over there. Of course, if you can't watch the show live, there's always lots of options for you. Of course, you can come to the website. You can use Roku, Google TV, Boxy, Samsung Smart TV. We're on the Tech Podcast channel on those devices, so definitely check us out. Well, I tell you, it's been about 8 days, and I got back from Vegas yesterday. After having spent, I guess I got in there Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so about 5 or 6 days. Had a great time at the show, and got a lot of stuff to talk with you. Hang on just a second. Got kids yelling in the background. Oh man. And they I think they decided to have a Duke Nukem in the kitchen, which is just off the studio. So anyway, let's talk just a little bit about Vegas. I got in Saturday morning, hooked up with the Gadget Professor team. The actual Gadget Professor was unable to come out, but Sunday I spent time. Let's see, where'd I go? I went to Panasonic, went to Sony's announcements, and a couple of others, and we blogged and live tweeted some of that stuff that I saw, and that pretty much wrapped up Sunday. But Monday, we hit the show real hot and heavy, and I carried the camera around, and I've got a bunch of video shot that I need to get edited to make available for you to view. But the writers at Geek News Central really did a great job in taking care of really all the news announcements. And I'm going to share with you some of the flyers and stuff we had at the show here in a few minutes, but we'll talk about some specific topics. But I guess the first thing we should do is pay a few bills. I want to take a moment here and want to thank GoDaddy for being a longtime hosting customer, or basically a sponsor here at the show. And we've got a great deal for you. They've extended the 25% fourth generation hosting deal. So now that you can get basically the fourth generation hosting at 25% off on a web hosting plan of 12 months or more. You can use the NAB code with any other sale that's going on. So right now they've got the unlimited fourth generation plan at $8.49 a month, but you can take an additional 25% off. So this is a great time. this weekend to go over and definitely check the folks over out at GoDaddy. Or you could come back to the website here at Geek News Central, and all you got to do is when you're at the website, on the second column of the website, scroll down, and there's a link there that says GoDaddy promo codes. Or go to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy, and all the codes that I made available that are available for you to use are right there on the in the website. Geek5 will save you 15% off on any order $20 or more. Todd20 will save you 20% on a 1-year shared hosting account. Todd will save you 10% on non-domain orders. ComSale and ComSale 2 will get you $7.99 new.coms and $7.49 on new.coms and $7.99 on renewals. So a whole bunch of codes there. If you had trouble using the codes, let me know. I know a couple people did here in the past week, but we haven't heard anything else. We checked them. They seem to be working. Remember, if you have another deal going on, you really cannot combine deals. It just doesn't work out. They basically, if you have a sale already, they don't let you double dip on most of the codes, except for, of course, the NAB code will get you 25% off, again, on that 4th generation hosting account. So let me talk just a few minutes about a couple of things going on here in the studio, too, before we get into the tech content. You'll notice that I've got both of the monitors up and running, and got that all finished, wired up today. So essentially, it's a brand new Ohanasaurus. That's what we call it, but it's truly a Skype source. It's a 2-channel Skype system. As you can see, we changed the monitors out. We're at a 16:9 now on the monitor size. So basically, we've got the ability to be right up at 1020 or 1080i on those monitors, and that's what that is. So tomorrow when we do Saturday Morning Tech, and we have our 2 guests, they'll be up there in HD, which translates going into the system as well in HD. So now we'll be able to, it's a little different brightness there, but you'll be able to, I'll be able to have a full HD instead of the 4:3 like it used to be. So that's kind of nice to have that up and all configured. I think it's all wired good. We put all new wiring in, all new connectors, double checked everything, made quite a few changes to it. And so it's was a major cost upgrade wise. I think I probably spent about $2,500 to $3,000, I guess, to get everything exactly the way I wanted it, the way I wanted it set up. We're using HDMI to SDI converters from Blackmagic Design. I've got a couple of video distribution amplifiers, which is a 1x4, 1 signal in, as many as 4 out. We're feeding them to 2, so 2 of those, 2 Mac Minis. And so anyway, that's kind of how it's all set up, and we'll see how it operates tomorrow when we're ready to do our first event with it. And my fingers will be crossed. I'm sure it'll be exciting because I'll have to get all the audio levels tweaked as the guys call in, because I did it as best I could, but nothing is ever perfect until you get people live. So you just need to get some graphics in there so we don't have the default OS 10 graphics. So the folks that I really went and I had a list of companies I wanted to see at CES, and one of them was Teradek. And of course, Teradek has got this new, and I'm just going to hold it up here for you guys so you can see it. What this is a bonded solution. We run up to 5 cards that essentially allow you to stream live. Now, this total rig is not inexpensive. It's a very expensive rig. It's designed to work with cameras that have a SDI out. So what will happen here is once you get this set up, you can stream. You have to have a decoder as well. So there's $7,000 to $8,000 in cost to go to this. So that basically this is a backpack solution, so that I could stream live anywhere at any time without really having a backpack. Just need this Teradek cube and then some coordination on the reception end. Along with that, they've got a full compact video assist system and replay. So that's something they put together. It's kind of nice. I didn't get too much information on that, but something we'll be talking tomorrow a lot about is the new live stream box. And if you notice something here, let me show you this. This is a box that Livestream is coming out with for $495. those of you that aren't watching, it's a red square box, but you can't see it on that menu. Let me see if we can show it on this one. If you look at this menu here, you'll see that it looks pretty similar to the Teradek one. So they're not saying, but the live stream booth was butted right up against the Teradek booth, and they've come out with this live streaming broadcaster, what they're calling, for $45 a month. You can stick a single HDMI or a single 3G LTE stick in it, and basically stream live with just a single connection. Now, I pre-ordered one of those, so we'll have one of those here in May sometime. But met with a lot of different companies. One of the companies I thought had a pretty cool solution was a company called Optimus, and be talking about these more. The Samurai and the Ninja, and these are two video recorders that you put right on connected to your camera, and it streams right to a hard drive. Sure had lots of new mics and stuff. We're really excited about some of the things they've had coming out. Sub $500 wireless kits. So that's new. Price is down about $150 on the wireless kits. So, anytime you're dealing with pro gear, they're not cheap at all. Now, one thing that I did notice in the show here that was really interesting was that, I've been a big, I really like what LiveView has done, but LiveView's always been so expensive that you can barely afford, their services. But because of all this competition, Livestream, Teradek, and everyone else, they've had to lower their price. And I heard that their LU40 live streaming solution was as low as $800 a month on a 1-year contract. So they've been affected, and they've had to change out their business model quite a bit. One company that I was really interested in was a company called Stryme, and they have this Genesis X program or the system that will allow me essentially to do some things I've been wanting to do with Tech Podcast. And they've got a solution that is relatively expensive, but it solves so many different things in what we're trying to do with some of the live content for Tech Podcast. I can it's one of those things that's going the budget line, and hopefully I can afford at some point. But definitely be checking them out. Stryme is the company. I think they're out of they're Dutch or Swedish company, one of the two. Also always looking for cheaper shipping containers. Found a company by the name of Seahorse, about 25% cheaper than Pelican Case, and they're just as tough. And then a whole variety. LED lights were everywhere at the show. 3 years ago, you only had one or two companies, but everything was all LED lights during this show. So lots more to share. We'll do some discussions tomorrow morning on Saturday Morning Tech about NAB. But you've seen a lot of the stuff up on Tech Podcasts. At Geek News Central already. So we hope that you'll come in on tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. So really for me here, 2 back-to-back shows. But I don't want to waste too much more time talking about about NAB, because we're going to cover that heavily tomorrow. But I do want to, and we're also going to talk about Ford. We're going to be talking about Disrupt, TechCrunch Disrupt, and a bunch of other stuff that's happened in the past week. But before we do that, let's take care of the last piece of business before we get into the full-blown tech show tonight with all the content that I need to get you caught up on. The folks at GoToMeeting have a great product. And, I have some colleagues working from home. I do as well. I travel a lot for business. Getting everyone together for a meeting can be sometimes an impossible task. So, of course, GoToMeeting has a solution. With GoToMeeting with HD Faces, your team can meet face-to-face while online, no matter where they are. It only takes seconds, and it's just easy to use. GoToMeeting by Citrix allows you to collaborate and basically share files, share documents, you name it, do planning online. And of course, with HD Faces, you just need a webcam to turn your online meeting into a group HD video conference. So you can participate on the go using the built-in camera on the iPad if you so desire. You just download the free GoToMeeting app to join us on Android as well. Seeing someone's expression, seeing them cringe, seeing them smile, seeing them nod their head up and down, those are all visual cues when you're doing a meeting that you're either on track or off track. And that's one of the reasons why I love GoToMeeting. So start hosting your own face-to-face online meetings today with GoToMeeting. As a listener of my show or a viewer of my show, of course, you can try it free for 30 days. Don't wait for this special offer. Visit GoToMeeting.com. Click on the try it free button and use the promo code podcast. Again, use the promo code podcast. And now again, go to meeting.com, click on the try it free button, enter the information they ask you there for, and use the promo code podcast. We want to thank the folks over at GoToMeeting for being a sponsor here at the show. We want you guys to give the product a try. I know that you're going to love it as much as I do. Okay. So, it's interesting here doing a Friday show. Actually, today there was quite a bit of stuff in the stack. But I do want to give you just a quick reminder before we get into the heavy material tonight, is that I will be leaving for Jacksonville tomorrow night. So just 48 hours on the ground here in Honolulu. There'll be 2 shows next week from Florida. So I'll be there. I'm actually going to spend some time with my daughter in Tampa as well. So going to be in Jacksonville all next week. So look forward to bringing you the live show from Florida. And then be back here in the studio. There will be no Saturday Morning Tech a week from today because I will be traveling back to Hawaii at the time. But I think I'm going to be home for a while after that. I don't have anything currently on my travel schedule, thank goodness. So we'll be back here to work in the studio. Hey, if you've got comments on tonight's show, @Geek News is my Twitter account. Please follow me there. Of course, you can email me, geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com. And our voicemail hotline or show hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 619-342-7365. Now, one thing I do know for sure, ever since I've been back, man, either I wasn't drinking enough water while I was in Vegas or I got dehydrated on the flight home because I just been pounding water. And I'm actually looking at my glass here that is in the studio. I'm halfway through that bad boy already. And I'm a little bit worried that we're going to make it. But let's get into the full stack. Hey, we're on Wired.com. I saw a few people walking around the show with their iPads shooting video, which was kind of, weird. But this guy has put together what's called the Padcaster. Turns your iPad into a complete video production rig. And, this is a pretty surprising layout. But, the iPad has a pretty good camera, but you're really not going to shoot high quality video by holding the tablet in your hands and really kind of aiming it at content, even though I saw some people to do it. But the Padcaster, it's a super sturdy $200 iPad case, attaches to a tripod and a camera lens, basically promising cost-effective method for taping into performance of Apple's improved camera hardware. You can use Carl Zeiss lens, which was attached to the case. So that was kind of cool. And but anyway, there's a full list of lens compatibility, and you can take a look at this at yourself. But might be a way to shoot some higher quality video with your iPad. Now, in all honesty, let me just tell you, just use your video camera because your video camera that you have probably it's got a bigger sensor. And it's probably going to do a better job than what the iPad ever would do. Plus, probably get better audio. All right, this summer, Verizon is saying that they're going to have shared data plans. They're going to be going live sometime mid-summer. So Verizon says it plans to launch multi-device shared data plans by, again, mid-summer. And this long-anticipated offering will allow subscribers with multiple devices to pay a single monthly fee to get data access for more than one gadget. This could be a big win for those of you that have an iPad and an iPhone, or even some other devices. So this is awesome. And you'll be able to pay whatever level you need and essentially have one bill. So this is cool, and I'm looking forward to Verizon bringing this online. We'll see how long it takes them and what the true, what the true cost involved is. All right, over in Tech Dirt, they've been reviewing basically an agreement between the Copyright Royalty Board, Library of Congress, and a variety of different groups, specifically the RIAA, MPWA, and NMPA, DMA, and they've come to this agreement also on designating royalties for new classifications of services. And what this is this is basically an agreement, again, between the Copyright Royalty Board, which is, of course, controlled by the Library of Congress, and these groups. And essentially, when this gets agreed to, it'll trickle down to everyone else. And there's some stuff in here that even has Tech Dirt folks confused, because they say this thing reads just about like tax law does, and subparagraphs, and refers back and forth and cross sections, and calling out different laws and everything else. But they said, good luck figuring out this whole 44-page document. There's all kinds of stuff in there that's going to affect all kinds of different companies. And it's also got some DRM stuff in there. And so they're really worried that once this is in, this is going to change some of the DMCA provisions. It's going to definitely invoke some new rules in regards to anti-circumvention of DRM stuff. So I don't know what we can do about this, if there's anything at all we can do. But if this is agreed upon, looks like some of the stuff is going to get shoved down our throats. So you just better not be in the music business. I guess that's the key. Or in the hosting of music, that's what's going to be affected largely. All right, a judge today said that the mega upload trial may never happen. Now, here you've had individuals put in jail, their assets seized, company has been destroyed, and of course, the U.S. government, who has accused Kim.com and the rest of the mega upload group of conspiracy of running a criminal operations. Now, charges in the indictment include engaging in racketeering, conspiracy, conspiring to commit copyright infringement, conspiring to commit money laundering, and 2 substantive counts of criminal copyright infringement. So it turns out that the judge handling the case has serious doubts on whether it will ever go to trial. He says, I frankly don't know I frankly don't know that we are ever going to have a trial in this matter, the judge said. The judge has informed the FBI that Mega Upload, now get this, folks, was never served with criminal charges, which is a requirement to start a trial. The origin of this problem is not merely a matter of oversight. Mega Upload's lawyer Ira Rothkin says that unlike people, companies can't be served outside U.S. jurisdiction. And she says, my understanding as to why they haven't done that is because they can't. We don't believe Mega Upload can be served in a criminal matter because it's not located within the jurisdiction of the United States. So the question that I have here, and the Mega Upload guy has just went off on this. There was a whole write-up by him, just, oh man, he was lambasting up one side the other. But, here you have individuals. Now, if they can't go against Mega Upload, can they still go against the individuals? I don't know. But the Kim.com has responded, of course. And, man, he just says that Mega Upload says it's Megalo founder Kim.com is only becoming more furious at the people who destroyed his business. He says the U.S. government has terminated Mega Upload, Mega Video, and 10 other subsidiaries, including a company called N1 Limited that was developing a clothing line. He says they destroyed 220 jobs. Millions of legitimate Mega users have no access to their files. And then He goes on to say, we are refused access to evidence that clears us. We are refused funds to pay our lawyers. We are refused to pick the lawyers we want to represent us and have any chance for a fair trial. He says, we've already been served a death sentence without a trial, even if we're found not guilty, which we will. The damage can never be repaired. And, he goes on to say that this mega takedown was possible because of the corruption of the highest political level, serving the interests of the copyright extremists in Hollywood. He says mega has become a re-election pawn. He says it's just a matter of time until the truth comes out. We're working on that, and we're making good progress.com concludes. So obviously he isn't happy with what the judges had to say. But how could the U.S. government make such a blunder in this? I wonder if this is just going to go away. Will they get their servers back? Will they be able to start their business again? Will they still be able to extradite the individuals? I don't know, but I'd sure like to know. But I guess we'll find out over time, won't we? But wow, what a blunder by the Department of Justice! Simply amazing. Now, talking about a blunder that's going to happen. Well, the Olympics is about to kick off here this summer. And check this out. The London 2012 Olympics bring with them a range of special measures guaranteed to make London a place of lovers of freedom to avoid this summer. Says fans in the crowd won't be allowed to upload snippets of the day's actions to YouTube, or even potentially to post their snaps from inside the Olympic Village on Facebook. And a crack team of branding officers, the game organizers, have acknowledged will be checking every bathroom in every Olympic venue with the power to remove or tape other manufacturers' logos, or even on soap dispensers, wash basins, and toilets. Of course, with just about 3 months to go until the opening of the London Games, tension is increasingly turning to what many legal experts consider to be the most stringent restrictions ever put in place to protect sponsor brands and broadcast rights affecting every athlete, Olympic ticket holder, and business in the UK. Now, this is beyond sad. What is supposed to be this great sporting event is turned into, everything about broadcasting rights and so forth. Imagine you're there with your camera, you take a picture of something, and you can't upload that anywhere. Good luck with enforcing that. Well, the copyright police may come around, but don't plan on taking your own pictures out of the Olympic Village. All right, moving on here. Researchers, this is exciting. And this is around extreme tech. If any of you have family members that are paralyzed, researchers have created a brain-computer interface that bypasses spinal cord injury paralysis. Scientists at Northwestern University in Chicago, with funding from the National Institute of Health, have successfully bypassed the spinal cord and restored fine motor control to paralyzed limbs using a brain-computer interface. So essentially what they've done is they put in sensors and stuff and read the what's on one side and transferred it to the other, and says it is pretty effective, replaces the nervous system and restores remarkably accurate fine motor control to a paralyzed arm. So that's pretty amazing. And this is going to take a while to refine, but what this could end up meaning, right? There might be a technology solution to fixing folks that are paralyzed. And that's some pretty exciting stuff. It really is. And we'll have to see. Actually, let me show you one of the, let me scroll down here. And it basically is just picking up the data that's being transmitted and then, reanalyzing it and resending it into the nervous system. So very cool. And I'm sure this is going to take a while, but this experiment was done on a monkey and seemed to be, very, very effective. So we'll see where this leads us to. Hey, Cadillac is road testing self-driving cars, and they feel that they could be ready by mid-decade to have hands-free vehicles. So if you are in the market in the next 4 or 5 years for a Cadillac XTS or ATS sedan, you may be able to have one that drives hands-free here by mid-decade. Apologize tonight. I'm still definitely on the um, not having had too much sleep, and definitely jacked up by the time zone. So I apologize tonight, not hitting 100% on all cylinders. That's for sure. All right, flashback botnet not shrinking. A huge number of Macs still infected. Russian AV firm says that rivals got the numbers wrong. Botnet still controls up to 650,000 Macs. There is some controversy in this. Some people saying it's not as bad as these people say it is. But anyway, there still appears to be a lot of machines infected. And of course, Apple's came out with some removal tools as well. But I'll have the link up in the show notes on this. And if you haven't checked your Mac out, you may want to do this. The FBI has seized an anonymous remailer server in a bomb threat investigation. Again, agents at the FBI seized, I guess they kicked the doors in of a server farm and seized a server belonging to an Italian internet service provider on Thursday as part of an investigation into a series of anonymous bomb threats sent to the University of Pittsburgh. Apparently, since they've seized that remailer, as many as 8 more bomb threats have came in, but they've been they don't feel the owner of that server, which has a bunch of different sites hosted on it. They feel that there's probably not a lot the FBI will get off that, and they really didn't understand why they didn't ask him for some assistance. All right, this one here is going to make all of you have your hair stand up on the back of your neck. And I was reading about this yesterday. I was on my way home from the airport. But, each vehicle starting in 2015 is more than likely, because of Senate Bill number 1813 and its House equivalent bill, House Resolution 14, which I believe the Senate bill passed it today. Basically, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be putting a more advanced black box in your vehicle, so that when you're involved in a automobile accident, they're going to collect a lot more data than what they've been able to since, I guess, from about 1997, which vehicles have collected a series of data for a long time. Things like the last, basically, it gives them a glimpse 15 seconds before an accident happens. Speed, engine revolution, braking. There's just a number of things that they also record right now, but they're going to be expanding that with this new black box that's going to go into your vehicle. So definitely some privacy issues here. And what it really means is that for every accident that's going to happen, probably after 2015, is they're going to plug into those boxes and download exactly what you were doing on the road and use that against you if they have to. Lawsuits and everything else. So people are going to have to be more cognizant of what they're doing out there, which they should be already, but definitely something new in the works here. All right. Some kids have sent up a 6 GoPro cameras. As a matter of fact, the GoPro booth at NAB was like 50 by 50. It was huge. So that you can tell they're doing a huge amount of business. They were up near Panasonic in a real prime location. But if you've got a pair of 3D glasses, you might want to get them before you go to this article, because some kids sent up some GoPro cameras up to, I think, how high did this baby go? It was high. Link, I'll have the link up in the show notes, but some kids in the elementary school did this. They did 2 in normal depth and then used 4 GoPro cameras to set them in a 3D configuration. So anyway, pretty cool video. Definitely have the link up to you in the show notes for you. Well, there is some discussion going on. Instagram was purchased by Facebook for $1 billion in stock and cash here recently. And the question is being asked is, why is not the Justice Department looking at this as a antitrust issue? Everything else is being looked at these days. I guess if Facebook is going to be allowed to corner the market on photo sharing sites, I guess. But they're not so far. There's been no flags raised, and it doesn't look like this acquisition is going to be any issue for the folks at Facebook. But it does make you wonder what triggers most of these antitrust stuff. All right, Anonymous has crashed the Formula One site over the Bahrain protest. So if you are an F1 fan, you may not be able to get to their site. I don't know if they've been able to get it back up, but Anonymous has taken the site down and they're targeting them. And of course, making some statements like they always do. In Australia, after an epic 4-year battle, the Australian High Court has upheld a previous ruling that ISP-iiNet is not responsible for the copyright infringements of its customers. So in a smart move, the final appeal has been rejected. So the Australian Federation Against Copyright Theft, AFACT, is basically has lost this case. So that's good. But this has been going on for 4 years. And obviously, iiNet is very happy with the decision. And this was a dumb one to begin with. Why this group was sued is beyond me. But at least it's got some case law now that protects ISPs down in Australia. Anonymous is also putting together what's called the Anonitune. It's a social media platform from Anonymous, and they're going to launch this site. And check this out, what they're going to be doing. And I'm sure this is going to attract the movie industry. And this article it's over on Wired, is they're basically saying the project called Anonitune, and it's still in its infancy, is designed to pull songs from third-party sources like YouTube and let anonymous users put them into playlists and share them while keeping the service from being shut down by the music industry. And they go on to say that we would say stuff like, and this is from some discussions their group has had, people really use YouTube as a music player, yet it really sucks for that purpose. It's too unorganized. The Anon wrote to Wired. And then YouTube does not make a good music player, but you can't play all your songs on it since the obscure ones aren't uploaded. Then eventually, what if you were to combine music websites like MySpace, Yahoo, YouTube, and others? So that's their goal. They're going to combine a bunch of sites with this type of content and put it on a site that people can go and enjoy music and do social media functions. So we'll see what happens with this. But there's a video on it out and available as well. Hey, for a long time, we've known that Skype is probably coming to Xbox. The Skype team apparently is seeking a motivated software engineer with an unrelenting drive. We're working on basically getting Skype ready for the Metro interface of Windows 8 and bringing it into the Xbox. So we could see that coming here in the near future. Kickstarter events seem to be a popular way to raise money right now. And funding is on pace to triple this year. They feel they're going to raise as much as $300 million for a variety of different projects. So that's pretty amazing, And the number of projects that they're funding is really pretty remarkable. Film is 33%, music 21%, design is 11%, art 6%, publishing 5%, games 5%, tech 5%, theater 4%, food 3%, comics 3%, photography 2%, fashion and dance 1%. Those are the categories that are seeing the majority of the funding on Kickstarter. So pretty interesting, yeah. $300 million in private investment by folks like you and I that is going to be fed into that ecosystem to fund different ideas and projects. When I was at NAB, I saw a pretty cool in the cloud web editor. And I've kind of poo-pooed, I walked up to the guy and I said, I don't believe, and this is what I said to him. I said, I don't believe in cloud computing. And he said, well, let me show you where this will work. And, what's kind of funny is he told me about his funding. I knew this on Wednesday. I knew they had gotten funding, but it just made the press channels today. But what this is what WeVideo is a cloud-based collaborative video editor. And they launched in the fall of 2011 at demo. And essentially what this is going to do is it's for as low as a free plan, with watermarked as low as between $7 and $40 a month. You basically have a variety of different editing tools. And the best way this is going to be used is essentially right from your mobile device. You're going to say you shoot a video with your iPad or your iPhone or your Android, and then you get done shooting that short clip. You can upload it to have it automatically upload to WeVideo. And once it's up there, you can basically do the editing either then on your iPad, or you can have someone else do the video editing. They can drop a pre-roll, post-roll in there. All this can be done and then published right from the same interface. Now, this is not designed to be used in shooting a video like this show or long form content, because it's designed to be able to have the ability to upload the media via your mobile device, get it into the cloud, be able to do some cool editing, some fades, some crossovers, titling, and all that stuff, and that you probably wouldn't be able to do until you got back to your computer, and do that right from your iPad with the interface. It was pretty slick. I sit there and watch it for a while and talk to them. Definitely something worth checking out. WeVideo.com. Again, a cloud-based collaborative video editor. Right, next up, German courts say the content ID system on YouTube is not good enough, and YouTube must block infringing content by keywords. And everyone's kind of laughing at this decision. We all know how effective keywords are. But anyway, that is what happened out of the one of these lawsuits happening in Germany right now. Also, a firm that makes tech for museum displays have sued Apple over touch. Flat World Interactive says that the iPhone, iPad, and other devices, Apple is knowingly violating a patent that covers selecting an image by touching it, flicking image off the screen, and so on. So apparently, since about 90, let me look here. Dun, 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 dun. It doesn't show when the patent was issued. Apparently sometime in the 90s, late 90s. But anyway, this looks like it could be a painful one for Apple based on reading it. So Flat World is seeking an injunction against continuing infringement along with damages. So show me the money. That's what they're saying. Give us some cash. And if they've got patents for touch screening and, doing some of the stuff that iPad does, that could prove to be troublesome for Apple and other companies. All right, VCs, ever since the Instagram sale, I tell you, right now it's showing to have an effect on the venture capitalist, and that, that could heat things up a little more. That's already pretty hot in the investment side. So during the first quarter of the year, venture capitalists invested $5.8 billion in 758 deals, a 19% decrease in dollars from the previous quarter and a 15% decrease in deals. But with this $1 billion deal with Instagram, we'll see what happens in the next month here, or the next quarter, as these VCs take, basically look at what's happened and the kind of money that they're able to raise in the time that they were. Facebook has announced that they have come online a new data center, and they spent about $458 million in bringing on their new data center. It took 16 months to build. Took 1.2 million hours from 2,000 people to get it done. They say it's the first major deployment of open compute project of servers that are using Intel Sandy Bridge processors. Facebook believes the Forest City, that's the name of the data center, like its first data center in Prineville, Oregon, will be one of the most efficient and energy efficient. Will have a projected power utilization effectiveness of about 1.06, whatever that means. And anyway, so they were showing it off. They're pretty pleased. And congratulations to Facebook for opening up their newest data center. Hey, Inmarsat is handed LightSquared a lifeline, hoping to get $56 million back. But LightSquared was given some cash by Inmarsat to basically give them 2 more years of life to try to get their spectrum approved so that they can start doing data services. So we'll see what this means. It could just be a play by Inmarsat. They get their hands on the satellites. If they can't move forward, then maybe Inmarsat grabs the satellites over the, their inability to continue moving forward. And that just means Inmarsat will have a couple of satellites for a very inexpensive price. $56 million, a relative low number to invest in a company to potentially get a hold of the birds they have in the air. Hey, Chumby, remember that device? Well, the Chumbies no more. And looking, I guess they're trying to sell the technology, but no devices. It's done. It's done as a product. So if you've got one, good luck getting any more updates. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. All right, that's like my last article for tonight. I wanted to get a quick show out so that you guys could know that I'm still alive here. I didn't want to go wait until Tuesday to get anything out. I do have, let me look and see here. What have I got? I got a number of emails that have come in. I got an email from Trucker Tom. He said, "Hey, Todd, found this interesting link on Drudge Report. The real X-ray specs new terahertz scanner lets mobile phones see through walls." I'll have that link up in the show notes. MS Small Biz sent me a link, says, "Hey, did you catch the dig feed on using those bank teller drive-through tubes to send people? Wasn't there a sci-fi movie about this?" So I'll have that linked up in the show notes, a YouTube video. Got an email here from Stefan that links to some information about this is a PR thing. I shouldn't, sorry. Got an email here from Chris. He said, Chris had some issues with a product they had at GoDaddy. He says, "Hey, Todd, thank you for passing along my concerns to GoDaddy. And we'll let you know that I had a call from an individual of the CEO team, and he has been very helpful, most gracious in digging into the situation. I give him and GoDaddy credit for efforts to get to the bottom of things. And for now, at least, we do not seem to be getting our emails bounced anymore. With some more digging and analysis, we cannot tell if the AHBL listing was in fact the root cause of our situation. Thanks again and keep up the good work with the shows. Always great listen to, Chris." And, this is what it is. If you guys run into trouble with your GoDaddy product or service, I'm just an email away. And if it's serious enough, I'll forward it to the top dog there at GoDaddy, who I have a direct line to. So just want to remind you guys of that. And but I'm glad, Chris, things are working out. Keep me advised, okay? Got an email here from Tim. He says, "Hey, cable/satellite costs average of $200 per month." An interesting article from Time Magazine, basically pushing more of the blame of high cost of program suppliers. Talks about why you shouldn't blame your cable company for your $200 cable bill. Mine's not that high. Even though we cut the cord and turned it back on, it's not that high. Got an email here from Richard. He says, "Student Bay file sharing admin walks free." So I have that link up in the show notes. This is from last week. And thanks to Bree for providing me feedback on the audio quality. I do appreciate that. Hey, we want to thank Dale for being our first person to hit 2 years of being a platinum GNC insider. Dale picked out a couple of products. He picked out a hoodie jacket that will go with his shirts and hat and travel mug that he had before. So he got a hoodie jacket from the cafepress.com/Ohana store. So he should have that by now. I know it's shipped. So I want to thank Dale for being a platinum supporter, insider here at Geek News Central. It is deeply appreciated. Those contributions that go a long way into doing what we do here. I want to remind you, of course, that you can become an insider yourself and support the show by going over to geeknewscentral.com/insider. What we've got set up is $2 bronze monthly contributors, $5 silver monthly contributor, $10 gold monthly contributor, and a $25 $25 platinum monthly contributor. So, if you feel like kicking us $2, $5, $10, or $25 a month to the show, I would definitely appreciate it. geeknewscentral.com/insider. It's a great thing. It can help us out here and allows us to do the cool things that we do, like going to NAB and covering the event like that. But I have lots of more coverage for you coming up. We'll have lots of some videos to put up. And I really did enjoy going out to Vegas this time. It was relaxed, no pressure. I actually had a little fun. It turned out to be a good show. So follow me on Twitter at Geek News. Of course, geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com. Voicemail hotline is 619-342-7365, 619-342-7365. It's been my pleasure. I'm glad to be back here with you. We'll see you next week from Jacksonville, Florida. And if any of the Ohana is close within striking distance, let me know, and we'll see what we can do. I'll be spending some time with my 22-year-old, but if I have time, I'll try to slide something in. But everyone, take care. Well, thanks. We'll see you on Monday night for another edition of the Geek News Central podcast. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning for Saturday Morning Tech Live at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. Everyone, take care and aloha.